Hey everybody, what's going on? I am Gregg Sussman, joined today by Megan Nunez of FanDuel, who's here once again to crush this week's NFL picks. What's going on, Megan?
Not a whole lot. Just trying to make some good picks every year for the week.
I sat and watched the Chiefs and Raiders game. I was like, man, Megan just nailed this completely. The only thing we didn't do was just take the Raiders outright, which
Yeah.
we're not going to do this week either. But we do have some winning picks again for you. And we begin in Minnesota, where Kirk Cousins and the Vikings are taking on the Atlanta Falcons, no longer led by Dan Quinn. Instead, it's Raheem Morris that is taking the reins in Atlanta. The Vikings are home and are 3.5-point favorites against the Falcons. And you're riding Captain Kirk and the Vikings here this week. A Vikings team that, well, should have won on Sunday night, but didn't. They let Russ cook instead. Now they go into this game desperate, and you believe that desperation will have them win by at least 3.5.
Yeah, I do. Obviously, I wasn't super hot on this Vikings team to start the year, but seems like they're starting to get to know one another a little bit more, and are starting to click. You have Kirk and Justin Jefferson really linking up. You have Cook, who has been an absolute monster, though he did go out with a questionable groin injury last week. You had Alexander Madison come in and take the workload, and he seemed like he did just a fine job. I think that this Vikings team can have a field day against this questionable Falcons defense. I don't normally like to go against the team that has just fired their head coach, but I just don't think that Morris is going to be the guy to light the fire under this Falcons team. I like the Vikings here. Everyone knows that Kirk Cousins just is garbage Monday nights, isn't great Sunday nights, but this is a Sunday day game. We have Kirk Cousins. I like the spot here. I like the Vikings laying the points, and I think the Falcons just continue to tank.
Not a primetime spot for Kirk Cousins, which makes you feel a little bit better, but no Dalvin Cook for Minnesota either. So a little wishy-washy here, but for you, you like the Vikings in this spot against the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons trying to get on the board still with a win, and you do not believe it will be this week. Up next, last week you took the Cleveland Browns at home as dogs against the Colts, and they got the job done. This week, the Browns are still dogs, but they're facing their arch rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers, in Pittsburgh here. They're 3.5-point underdogs facing off against Big Ben, an undefeated Steelers team. First time in 40 years that the Steelers are 4-0. And you're riding the hot hand of the Cleveland Browns, who have also won 4 games in a row here. Browns plus 3.5, Baker Mayfield, Kevin Stefanski getting it done in Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the divisional road dogs with the Cleveland Browns. As you said, going up against their arch rivals. Look, I'm riding the hot hand here. I, as you said, picked them last week, rolling into this week. I think Stefanski has that offense absolutely lit and ready to play this Pittsburgh team, who really hasn't played anyone. Whereas the Browns beat a pretty incredible Colts team last week, especially that defense. And then the week prior, beat the Dallas Cowboys, who have an explosive offense. So, again, riding the hot hand here. I like Stefanski's team, what they're doing. Taking the Browns plus 3.5 to show out against those Steelers.
Liking the job the coaching staff is doing at Cleveland. And Baker Mayfield said it this week. It's a lot better learning from winning experience than losing experiences. And they've won a lot thus far this year. We'll see if they can keep it going or at least cover the 3.5 here against our arch rivals in Pittsburgh on Sunday. One last game to get to. It's Sunday Night Football. It's Jimmy G and the 49ers, a team that got crushed this past week against Miami, against the Los Angeles Rams. San Francisco is home, and yet they are a 3.5-point dog in this game. The Rams are coming off a clean sweep of the NFC East. And they're back facing their division rivals, the Niners here. You like the Rams as road favorites. You're giving up that half point here. It's minus 3.5 on the road. The hook is there for the Los Angeles Rams. You take it all. How come?
All right, so I can't figure this 49ers team out. I thought that they were good or decent with that plug and play. I thought Shanahan was, had it figured out. But then I went back and looked, and their only 2 wins has been against the Jets and the Giants. So not really sure where I thought this plug and play was really working. However, this Rams team has looked good. I think they're primed and ready to play this 49ers team, who obviously is beat up themselves. They're about to get beat up by the Rams. Personally, I still think they have a Super Bowl hangover. This 49ers team they're nowhere right now. They have no one. They don't even have a leg to stand on, especially after kind of benching Jimmy last week. I think the Rams are ready to just go in, beat up this 49ers team. I wish I could have gotten the 3, but I feel comfortable with the 3.5 here. I can see this being a touchdown game.
Confident in Sean McVay and the Rams to get the job done against San Francisco. A San Francisco team that is still beat up, but are starting to get some of their star players back. We'll see what happens on the defensive side of the ball, but they're going to need those defensive weapons in there. They could stop Sean McVay's high-powered offense, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, and, of course, Jared Goff getting the job done here thus far. That's going to do it for us here on the FanDuel Hurry Up. Megan, let's keep it rolling, man. Let's keep the hot streak going. Let's win a couple bucks this week.
Let's do it.
For Megan Nunez, I am Gregg Sussman. Join me later today and tomorrow as Tom Vecchio will be with us as we take a look at DFS for week number 6. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another edition of the FanDuel Hurry Up.